Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. An emphatic victory for Manchester United as we solidified our place in, getting our second win of the season. It was a really interesting game, high pressing, high intensity, high pressure. Everything was going really fast and pretty fast for Man United and for Chelsea and all of that. And the truth is, we can go on and on talking about the game and how the game went and everything, but I was absolutely stunned by the performance with regards to how Manchester United started the game. It was really tough, was really interesting, and Man United had momentum for the most part of the first half and in some bits second half, but the game ended with a ball possession of 41-59 as Man United had 41% and then Chelsea had 59%. But let's talk about the goals. The first goal, first and foremost, very important parts of the game that really shocked us was basically this match was much needed. It was a needed win for Man United, for Amorim. Everything centered around ensuring that we got that win, with both teams basically Chelsea trying to maintain their unbeaten record in the league, even though they only had draws, a couple of draws, but unbeaten record basically in the league. I think they're the third unbeaten team, and I think Crystal Palace and Manchester and Liverpool are the second, are the only two unbeaten teams left now. So Manchester United actually broke that unbeaten record, and then we also entered this game after 12 years. Playing Chelsea 12 years at Old Trafford and not losing to Chelsea. So it was super interesting. It was amazing. I liked the intensity of the game, at least for the first 5 minutes. Look at the lineup. We started with the lineup of Altay Bayindir in net, and then we had the back three, surprisingly, because I did a short video about it, surprisingly, of Matthijs, Ligt at the right side of centre back, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. He still wants to play Luke Shaw, right? So we had that, and basically it was super interesting to see what the outcome of the game would be. And then we had in midfield, it was Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes playing as the 2-6s, and then we had in attack, like in the 2-10s, we had Ahmad and Mbeumo. Ahmad on the left 10 and Mbeumo on the right 10. And then wing backs, obviously, we had Mazraoui, who had a fantastic game, and Patrick Dorgu as left wing back, Mazraoui as right wing back, and then as a striker, we had Šeško getting another second successive start for Man United. The interesting thing is we haven't seen the three signings play together at least for one full game. We've only seen them play for a half, and that was against Grimsby Town, and it was horrendous. But like one full Premier League game, we haven't seen them play, and I wish we have. But obviously, Šeško didn't have a preseason with Manchester United. But obviously, everybody will seem to forget that. Cunha has been injured. For a couple of games, I think 2 games, and then we have Mbeumo, who has played his socks off and all that. He needed to even be given a sub. But basically, Manchester United grinded out this win, played their heart out. Bruno Fernandes delivering when needed. He scored his landmark goal on his 200th Premier League appearance, to help Manchester United to a 2-1 victory over Chelsea. Obviously, we starting from the first goal, basically, or the first part of the game that made it really tough was that long, and people seem to forget that part, the long pass from Altay Bayindir targeting Šeško's head. Altay Bayindir's ball playing from the back seems a bit underrated. He played that long pass targeting Šeško's head. Šeško flicks it, and Mbeumo makes the run behind. Adding another one where he's making a running behind. And like I said, I've said this time and again, it's decision making that's killing Man United and making us not to finish our chances, because we would have scored Chelsea at least 4 goals, if I'm not mistaken, at least in the first half and also in the beginning of the second half. But basically, as always, Manchester United did their best to ensure that we secured the win. So that first attempt was where Mbeumo had a one-on-one with Robert Sanchez, and Robert Sanchez obviously took him down and got a red card and was sent off. And the momentum again continued with Man United. If you look at the lineup, the way they even started at kickoff, you will see that obviously the players wanted to immediately do a high press. So immediately they got the ball, they passed it back, defender passed it to Altay Bayindir. Altay Bayindir hoofed it long, as they pressed, and then they kept the ball in Chelsea's half for a long time. And then eventually it turned out to be that the resulting free kick was deflected. Obviously, Bruno hit the ball to the wall, and then Mbeumo hit the shot, and I think he got a corner. And then from there was also consistent pressure. Man United kept pressing them, trying to win the ball. High energy, high everything. Everything was so high in that game. And then obviously chaos set in for Chelsea after that red card. They had to make panic substitutions. I mean, Enzo Maresca made 3 panic substitutions. Took out Esteval, took out Kopama, and took out Pedro Neto. His attacking lineup, even though I believe that, and those were the 3 in his 4-1-4-1, he took out 3 out of his 4-1-4-1 formation and brought Enzo Fernandes backwards. So let's say he played the 4-2-3-1. He took out the 3 in front of the 2. And then he brought on Tosin, brought on the other midfielder that dived or that keeps falling to the ground, and Maguire nearly chopped off his head. And then he brought in eventually later on brought in Tyrick Mitchell, and also brought in Malo Gusto eventually. It felt like they were crumbling. Basically they were crumbling, and Maresca made panic substitution, and we're super excited to see the game go the way it went. And then there was this time that there was a deflected, I think there was a ball attempt at Chelsea's post that was deflected, and then Mazraoui got the ball and recycled it, crossed it back to Patrick Dorgu, who heads it down into Bruno's path, who eventually decided to, just tap it into the net for his 200th Premier League and 200th goal in his for his 100th goal in his 200th Premier League appearance. So it was a milestone for him, basically. And then you could also see that the pressure was on. The pressure was on. Chelsea were in 6s and 7s all over the place, trying to defend and scramble for the ball. Cucurella was trying to be very aggressive, but one thing I could point out that Manchester United did was that they were very aggressive from the whistle. They were very, very aggressive. Everybody was playing with their socks in their sleeves and all of that. It was really, with their hat on their sleeves, it was really, really crazy, playing their socks out and all of that. And that was it. It couldn't have gotten any worse as for Chelsea, who were down to 10 men inside 5 minutes when Robert Sanchez, who had already parried away an Mbeumo header, caught the Cameroonian international with a rash challenge just outside the box. So basically he was the last man, and Fernandes basically then made United's numerical advantage count as his 100th goal for the club, handed them a 14th minute lead at the rain-swept Old Trafford. Obviously, people are going to come out and say, oh, basically, Man United played in a soaked stadium. It's both teams that played on that same field. It's not like Man United took the field and they've been playing on that soaked field for a while. Somebody said, oh, the Premier League needs to review Manchester United Stadium. How can they play in such a field that is soaked? I'm like, are you serious? There are so many fields that don't have good drainage. That one it's not the field being soaked. It's a once in a lifetime thing, or once in a blue moon thing, where basically you have the rain pouring the way it poured on the day. It rained cat and dogs and everything. So, like, I'm shocked and perplexed at people's reasoning to give such kinds of excuses with regards to Manchester United on Old Trafford as a whole. But obviously, you could tell that everybody's looking for excuses. And another interesting thing was Casemiro's goal. Casemiro, I think there was the clearance from one of the Chelsea defenders, and the ball went in the air. And Luke Shaw came out from came late into the box and leaped so high that he won the header and it ricocheted off somebody, and then obviously landed on Casemiro's head, who just simply headed it into the net for 2-0. And then eventually, along the line, as he was going at maybe like 2 minutes or 3 minutes at the end of or 4 minutes at the end of the first half, obviously, Casemiro went and fouled. Let me get the name of the player. Casemiro went and fouled someone, and then he got the red card. So he got a second yellow after his first tackle against Enzo Fernandes. So, like I said, Casemiro doubled the advantage to close with a close range header in the 37th minute, but 2 bookings either side of the goal saw him sent off on the stroke of halftime. And then Chelsea, who saw Kopama go off due to injury, improved after the break and thought they had pulled a goal back just after the hour when Wesley Fofana headed from close range, and that was offside, absolutely offside. But he was denied by offside. Another thing I need to point out is that we're vulnerable at set pieces. Yeah, obviously, 2 chances at set pieces, and Bayindir or anybody didn't have anything to do. And then that cross from James, from Reece James, that led to Chalobah scoring that goal. I could see Ahmad really yelling because obviously he could see it, and he's not tall enough to jump like that. But Yoro didn't even leap as he would leap to clear the ball. He already turned back to see who was behind him, and lo and behold, forgetting that he's supposed to be the last defender in that defense, and then he jumps up, and as he jumps up, he didn't jump so high, and then Chalobah leaps over him and scores a free header. But another thing is that we noticed is that as Maguire was taking off, obviously, then Man United conceded, which means Maguire has been doing something right and was really angry and really pissed. Then also, this was the 80th minute goal, but actually they could not find the late equalizer, and their unbeaten start to the season, Chelsea's unbeaten start to the season, came to an end. So it was a much needed win for Matchday and Amorim that pushes Man United to 9th. We're now in 9th position on 7 points after 5 games. 7 from 5 games with 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. So 7 points from 5 games, 1 point behind Chelsea, and Chelsea are 6th, obviously. Now, last weekend's derby defeat actually put pressure on the back of Amorim, but the victory now means United won consecutive home games within the same season and under the same manager since December of 2023 under Erik ten Hag, right? So that was the last time we actually won consecutive home games, so it is peak. Now, Sanchez's send-off actually made the momentum to actually swing properly at exactly 4 minutes 1 second, right? And that is actually the earliest Chelsea have ever received red card in the Premier League. Casemiro, and then I think it's the first time. There was one stat I heard Peter Drury say. I think it was the first time that Man United, that a team made 3 substitutes in the first half. Yeah, that was Chelsea. First time ever. Then Casemiro made his mark. Also, 3 of 7 Premier League goals have come against 3 of his 7 Premier League goals have come against Chelsea, and that's 43%. And then he has also received his 3rd red card since his debut in August 2022, more than any other player in the competition. United racked up at least 1.74 expected goals. That's XG by the end of the game to Chelsea 0.39, and Chelsea's winless streak at Old Trafford is extended to 13 league matches. They've drawn 7 and lost 6 at Old Trafford. So the streak continues for Chelsea. That's what I can say. The streak continues. It's been 13 years since they lost to or they played at Old Trafford and won. So, and that was, in fact, that was Sir Ferguson's last defeat as a Man United coach. So we're going to give you some of the stats from the game. Let's give you the stats. Overall, let's just run through the stats. So the overall stats was Chelsea to Man United possession. Sorry about that. Chelsea to Man United possession was 41 to 59. Expected goals 1.84, as I said, to Chelsea's 0.43. Man United had 11 shots. Chelsea had 5. Man United had 4 shots on target. Chelsea had 1, and that was the header. Man United had 3 big chances. Chelsea had 1. Then big chances missed. Man United missed 1. Chelsea never missed a big chance. Accurate passes, we had 292, 79% to Chelsea's 466, 85%. Fouls committed, Man United 13. Excuse me. Man United 13, Chelsea 14. And if we're going to go to a little bit into XGs and expected goals, as the case may be, 1.84 to Chelsea 0.43. In fact, we smashed them in all XGs. So 1.84 to Chelsea 0.43 expected goals, 0.75 XG open play to 0.10, then 1.08 XG set play to 0.36. So we're more successful with set pieces and stuff. 1.84 non-penalty XG to Chelsea's 0.43, and then 1.87 XG on target to Chelsea 0.59. So smash them in XG. Just to give you a bit of a context what XG means. XG, or expected goals, means basically, so we can, as we're talking about it, it means is the measurement of the quality of a shot. A team's XG number for a match is an indication of how many goals they could have been expected to score given the chances created. So yeah, that's why Man United smashed Chelsea in all XGs. When it comes to passing, Man United had 371 passes, because I think in the second half, Chelsea wrestled control out of Man United. And then Chelsea had 550 passes. Passes in our own half, we had 137. Chelsea had 256. So more than half of their passes were in their own halves. Passes in the opposition half, Man United had 155. Chelsea had 207. Accurate long balls 13 to 21, or 24% for Man United, and to 47% for Chelsea. Accurate crosses, we had 8, 31%. Chelsea had 2, 13%, and those two came from Reece James. Throws, obviously 23 to Chelsea's 20, and then touches in the opposition box, Man United had 21, Chelsea had 16. Offsides, Man United had 3, Chelsea had 2. And then if we're talking about cards, disciplines, Chelsea had 5 yellow cards and 1 red card. Man United had no yellow card and 1 red card. So you can imagine. So like basically, the no yellow card is basically 2 yellow cards to Casemiro, which led to 1, so it cancels out the yellow cards. For defense, Man United had 21 tackles, Chelsea had 16. And for interceptions, Man United had 10, Chelsea had 8. And then blocks, Man United had 2, Chelsea had 3, and 19 clearances for Man United to Chelsea's 29 clearances. So they spent a lot of time clearing the ball. And their keeper made 2 saves. Altay Bayindir made no saves. And for duels, overall duels, Man United had 51 duels, Chelsea had 53. Ground duels won, Man United had 39, which is 51%, Chelsea had 37, which is 49%. And then for air duels won, Man United had 12, which is for 3%, and air duels won for Chelsea 16, which is 57%. And then air duel successful dribbles, Man United had 5, 38%, Chelsea had 8, 44%. Now, if we're going to go to the stats for the first half, basically, if you look at it, Man United edged in possession with 57%, and in second half, Man United lost or ceded possession to Chelsea with 72%. Overall, it ended in 41% to Man United, while Chelsea had 50%. 9%. Then if we're going to go to player ratings in the game, we'll start with the goalkeeper. So player ratings, goalkeeper Altay Bayindir for Man United got a 6.5 performance. He didn't have much to do, not to talk of saves or stuff, but his ball playing from the back were good. His long pass to Sesko led to Mbeumo getting that chance one-on-one with goalkeeper, who fouled him, and he got a red card. Then We are going to talk about also Matheus Ligt, centre back. Absolutely amazing performance. He's like a bar. He with every passing game, he seems to be more of a bargain than we ever imagined. Signing him from Bayern Munich, and then obviously the next one is Harry Maguire. Obviously, I can't understate the importance of De Ligt in this team and how powerful and how aggressive and fast he is. The next person we have is Harry Maguire, who came and held the defense like a leader, leading from the back and creating chances, also creating opportunities for himself. And it was good that he was hooked at the 70th minute. For De Ligt, I'll give him a 8.0 performance. For Harry Maguire, another 8.0 performance. He got the assist where we thought it was Shaw, but Shaw jumped, and then when Shaw headed the ball down, he hit Maguire. Maguire laid the ball to Casemiro, who scored. And then we give Luke Shaw 7.5 performance. Had a good game today. Could have done better, but still had a good game today. Was very aggressive as well. Was rattling them. Another player I'll give a 7 point. So maybe let's say 8.0. So 8.0 for Patrick Dorgu. He got the assist for one of the goal. Performed really well as well. Defended well, but also was being run ragged by James. And it's down to us having a red card. And I'm sure Casemiro would have obviously apologized to his teammates. Next person, I'm going to skip this one and go to the next one, which is Casemiro. He gets a 6.5 from me. Obviously, he got the goal, but could have been better. Could have been better. Could have even done differently. Couldn't have made that tackle where he made the tackle, basically. So, but he got the goal, so 6.5. Can even be 7, but 6.5. Let's leave it at 6.5. And then another bargain signing, £19 million from Bayern Munich, and that is Nuzair Mazraoui. Bargain buy. He seems a lot fitter, he seems a lot faster, seems leaner as well. Last season he felt like he was running on fumes, but because this season is a lot chilled and he rested a lot during the transfer, during the preseason. Didn't play any preseason game, but was resting and getting fitness back, and came on and he just blended in like a glove. This game was good for him, and I was really pleased that he managed to even be putting in crosses, but was hooked at 65th minute, which was good as well, to rest him for the next one. And then I think Ahmad was now switched to right wing back. Dorgu continued where he was playing. We played the whole 90 minutes. Another player that I'll give credit to for his behind the lines runs and all is Mbeumo. Yes, he was hooked at the 69th minute, was already tired, was running his socks off and trying to win balls and all of that, but it still hasn't blended. There's something still missing. But Mbeumo gets a 7.0 from me. Good performance as well. Another player that really did well, but also had kind of like one thing I'll give him credit for is the way he presses and the way he tries to win balls. So I'll give him 7.5, and that is Amad Diallo. Did well. No, 7.0, Ahmad. 7.0 can do better. But I like the pressing. But why I even drop it from 7.5, 7.0, if I'm not mistaken, if I drop 6.5, I'll not be wrong, is that his decision making is now beginning to question his decisions. There are times when he had the chance to cross the ball into the box, square the ball into the box or pass the ball into short and stuff. He didn't. So that actually cost us a little bit. But then, obviously, I'll give him credit. He gets a 7.0 from me as well. Did really well. And that player that is still kind of struggling to find his feet in this team, but had an influence on the game in the first half because he only played basically for 6 minutes in the entire game, is Benjamin Sesko. He gets a 6.5 performance from me. Can do better, still getting his stride, and with what the positives that Ruben Amorim is having towards him, Ruben Amorim is saying that he is basically taking in and soaking in everything. And then the next one we have on the bench is Manuel Ugarte. He came in for 6 minutes to come and shut the defense despite the fact that Casemiro got a red card, and he gets a 7.0 performance from him because he was really all over the field. He was blocking. He was defending really hard. He had 21 touches in the game. He had 2 clearances, 3 tackles, 1 block. So he was defending really hard. And to think that this guy is only 24, I believe he can still have something to offer. And this is his only season, because I think he has come to his 2nd year at Man United, and if he doesn't perform this year, he's probably going to be gone next year. So I'm rooting for Manuel Ugarte to deliver and become a mainstay in the squad, and then also give Casemiro a rest, or keep Casemiro at the team until Casemiro eventually until he needs the rest and Casemiro has to come in for him. Next player is Matheus Cunha. Came in, didn't really have any impact in the game. 6.5 performance. He came in at 65th minute. Yeah, come back from injury. We can say that. There are chances where he could have passed the ball, or shot the ball. There was one he should have shot the ball. He already broke, and then he now went and passed it to the middle, or on the line, on that 18-yard box line. So I don't know why he passed it straight like that. But yeah, at one point he was carrying the ball forward for us. So yeah, Matheus Cunha gets a 6.5. Next player is Mason Mount, gets a 6.0. I didn't know where he was playing. He was supposed to be playing as one of the pressers in the 210s, or probably playing in the midfield, but obviously anywhere he puts him, he's going to play. He gets a 6.0 from me. Came in at 69 minutes as well. Could have done better as well, but yeah, I think came from Mbeumo. Yeah. Then the next one is Leny Yoro. Yeah, Leny Yoro 6.0. Didn't really do much, and I think he's probably dazed by what happened at Manchester City. And it's good that Amorim actually brought him in at 70 minutes. But then it was the fact that he didn't jump that led to him led to Chalobah scoring us. But then you're not going to blame him because he's not seeing what's behind him and all of that. But then you talk, and then someone comes and tells you, oh, you're blaming a young kid, or you're scapegoating someone. I'm not going to scapegoat him for that, but I could see Ahmad screaming and yelling at him that why didn't he jump and stop? But he's still young. He's still 18, I believe, or 19. So still has a lot of time to play, a lot of time to learn and all of that. Next person I have on my list is Kobbie Mainoo. Now, Kobbie Mainoo came in at 87 minutes, had nothing particular to rate, but he was strong and he was a calming presence in that team. Any other players that would have brought in would have been Xerxes, but it's good that we rested him for the next game as well, because we face Brentford next game. It's going to be a unique game. And then overall, for the team performance, 7.0, did really well, everybody. And then Amorim 7.0 as well. Not going to fault him, because you can't come and say that he will be the one to come in and play the way they played. He came out telling them to play aggressively, and they did. So credit to that. Kudos to the team and all of that. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section as we build towards that. The next video you're going to see is the 5 things we learned from the game, and we're gonna break it down and give you our thoughts and all of that. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as relates to Manchester United. I'll see you on the next one. Also, don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at United Talks Pod, and as well, don't forget to like, share, subscribe as well so you don't have to miss anything. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.